Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning session. So nice to have everyone joining this morning. And a happy Valentine's Day to you for those that celebrate that particular day. A day of love and support and just self-love and self-care. It can have so many different meanings. So happy to have everyone here this morning, and welcome to our Tuesday morning gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. And this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino. Delighted to be here this morning with Shanti Douglas, teacher with Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. Good morning, Shanti.
Good morning. Welcome to our day of love. Our pets, our family, our neighbors, our society, even including our work in that too.
Yeah. So those are really great reminders. There's so many different ways that we can share this holiday. It's kind of a Hallmark holiday, but we can make it a lot.
What holiday isn't a Hallmark holiday?
What's that?
What holiday isn't? That's why there's at least one every month.
Right. Yes, the card industry has some fun with that. But so welcome to everyone this morning, and so nice to see you all here. Wanted to say a special welcome to our regular community that joins us each Tuesday. And also welcome to anybody that's new this morning. For those of you that are new, the way that we have things go on Tuesdays is our teacher will share a question for the group and then share a few thoughts with us and go right into meditation practice. The intention is to do at least 12 minutes of meditation, which supports the research of Dr. Amishi Jha from University of Miami, who she has confirmed that is really the sweet spot of time where there's some significant changes in our lifestyle and so our bodies and minds. So with that, if you can go to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat. And once you do that, you can click the blue drop-down menu, and you can change to everyone if you'd like everyone to see your comments. So Shanti, what kind of question do you have for us?
Yeah. So this morning, my question is, and I'll put it in the chat, what is a way that you offer yourself some relief from a busy day? Like, how do you take care of yourself? And sometimes we can think of, the immediate things like going for a walk or having a cup of tea or maybe a nice warm bath. And, the days I find they can sort of find themselves in our body and in our mind, in our emotions. They wiggle their way in there. So having a specific practice or a variety of practices I love to have to address that can be really important.
Yeah. And I'll share something quickly. What I do if I have time and I find that I'm not making as much time as I would like is to sit down on my couch with my dog sitting on my legs and just read something, or even just do Wordle.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a little escape for me. How about you, Shanti?
Oh, getting into even 5 minutes of yoga towards the end of the night can feel really beautiful for me. And I notice it most when I don't do it. I notice it the morning after, but when I do it, it just feels really fantastic. And sitting up in bed, even just to bring my attention to my heart and my body and offering gratitude and appreciation for the day in that way can also be very helpful.
Yeah, I like that.
It doesn't have to be anything really big. I think the more that we can drop into ourselves throughout the day and making some habit routines of a minute, 5 minutes, 2 minutes here and there, it helps us to keep showing up to ourselves and saying, hey, I'm right here. I care about myself. I'm important. I want to be present to myself in my life.
Yeah. And I love that the practice that you mentioned about sitting up. Like, think about when our alarm goes off, we're just like, we get out, many times right out of bed, but just sitting there and, because many times we'll do that at the end of the day. Wow. What if we do that in the beginning of the day? That's even better. So I like that. I like that a lot. So let's see what we have coming in from everybody.
Shares.
Diaphragmatic breathing and guided meditation. I like that, Sheila. Each hour, I step away from the desk and do some walking. Excellent.
Great.
Watching the Game Show Network. Oh, I love it. Show up for MindtheMoment, even when it feels like there are more important things to do. 5-minute walk, fresh air. Oh my gosh, totally. Daily sunshine. Listening to the birds. Yeah, singing and dancing, even for 5 minutes. Gosh, many times it's just you have to have the right song on and then it just sets you off. I love that. Anything not involving a digital screen, reading a real physical book or magazine or something not on a screen. Yes.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Love all of it.
Completely agree with all of those comments, and especially that last comment, which really ties into our practice today, where we're going to be spending some time in different parts of our body. And, I don't know about you, but usually I feel the weight of the world or the weight of the day, like on my shoulders, right? That tends to, I think, the shoulders, the neck, things like that. And the reason for the practice, where I'm going to begin with our practice today, is something that I became aware of just a few weeks ago in my meditation. I was just a continual bunch of days, and I was checking in with different parts of my body than I usually do. And I really noticed that a lot of that screen time was showing up differently in my body than maybe my mind was showing up, right? So my mind can layer itself like on the tension in my neck, how many things I have to do, the busyness, etc. I think that's pretty familiar to a lot of us. But I think there's also some other dimensions of tension that we might hold in different parts of our body because we are so screen focused, right? Does that make sense? Right.
Yeah. Even looking at the news on our phones, how does that manifest in our body? Yeah. Totally.
And just even the physicalness of being in front of a screen, right? Our nervous system gets, it's to track everything is a lot for our nervous system. And so I'm not going to get into too much of an explanation. I'd like us to have some fun and add a lot of curiosity and just to kind of see what's here for each one of us. But I'm going to bring in a few different places that we might not normally go to in the body in relationship to how we might hold tension from the day. So
Perfect.
Good to start. Okay. So as usual, invite your body to come into a nice, comfortable position, whatever that is for you. And for this practice, you don't need to close your eyes, but I am going to invite you to close your eyes and creating a tall yet stable and relaxed spine. And also relaxing the belly. This helps the whole of our nervous system to come into a more fruitful sense of ease when we can relax the belly. The breath tends to move in deeper and slower. And there's even that sense of feeling more grounded. And if you wear glasses, I'm going to invite you just to take your glasses off. We're going to be paying attention for the next few minutes on our eyes. You know, our eyes, we see, we look, we bring in information. It's the window to our inner and our outer world, the eyes. And as we practice in the moment, just allowing the eyes to be as they are, just to become aware of how our eyes are. The texture, the physical eye itself, the energy of the eye. Just notice the sensations around and within the eye. And as you do this, see if you can let go of the holding that we have in the eye. See if we can soften the eyes and just letting them completely rest. Letting them just be eyes. You might notice some subtle fluttering of the eyes, perhaps a little twitching, some change in direction. Some macro movement, some micro movement. Just allowing all of this to slow down, to rest, to just be. Keeping our concentration and our loving kind awareness on our eyes. Just allowing them to take a break. Not needing to process anything right now. Softening into the layers of holding that can be so subtle in the eyes. Being curious about the sensations that are there. Really letting the eyes rest. We're focusing and concentrating, but we don't need to see anything. We don't need to look, to search. And then expanding this sense of presence and letting go of holding, just allowing that to move down your face, through your neck, down your shoulders, through your arms, your elbows, your forearms, down to your hands. Just opening the palms of the hands, whether they're facing up or facing down, whatever's comfortable, and allowing the hands to open. This is another place that as we move through our day, we hold a lot. Noticing the energy in the hands. The hands as a whole, back of the hand, the palm. Just letting the hands unfurl even more, relax even more. Noticing the fingers, the knuckles, the elements of the hands. Just allowing the hands to completely and fully rest, not needing to hold anything physically or imaginatively. Holding space and not even holding space. And then moving our attention down our body, down the hips and the waist, the legs, past the knees to the calves and the shins and our feet. And noticing the bottom of our feet. Noticing the connection of energy to the earth in the bottom of our feet. Through our shoes and our floor and the building and whatever it is, we are connected to this larger earthly dimension. Noticing the support, the steadiness, the strength. Connecting to the earth helps us to feel grounded. And we can let go of any of the heaviness that gets accumulated through the busy day. When we walk in nature, we feel the love of nature, the trees, the birds, the grass, the flowers, the sky. So connecting to what our feet are like and letting them relax and soften can reactivate that feeling sense. And now bring your attention to anywhere in your body, including in your mind, your heart, emotions, that you'd like to bring a little bit more care and love, or letting go of the holding around. So taking the next minute or two for that. And with a nice deep breath, the corners of the mouth in gentle appreciation for yourself in this practice. Opening your eyes if they've been closed. Noticing yourself right here. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Shanti. I feel like we got a little extra time in there. I was loving that. Yeah. And this is a good time for anyone to share any questions or comments, anything about the practice or anything that's on your mind related to mindfulness and meditation, anything that's been simmering up for you. And while people are thinking of that, I love two things that you said when you were guiding us, Shanti. When we were focusing on our hands and you were saying holding space, but not even holding space. And that's such that really opens up your mind to just a perfect way to let go. Like our hands hold so much, but holding it and then letting it go, not even holding it. So I really like that. And also when you were mentioning about our eyes, relaxing our eyes, I felt like I was neither closed nor open because I felt like closing it was taking effort. and opening it was not what I wanted to do. So I felt like I was kind of in a middle space, which was really, it was more relaxing because I wasn't really doing anything with my eyes. So
yeah, they're not trying to do things. Yeah, it's been a really interesting practice for the last few weeks. And I've done this actually a number of times during the day because I'm in front of the screen so much. And, I just noticed that my eyes are like vibrating and even sort of twitching sometimes when there's no reason, but it's more of just we're constantly looking, or if you notice yourself even scrunching to focus on something, and that it creates tension. And that we know that physical tension creates that backdrop of that other types of tension. So it can be really just a fun thing to do. And you can start your day. How are you? And then even like ending the day, we were talking about that before, ending the day with an eye meditation to just as another generous way to release some of what you've seen and how you've processed things through the day.
yeah, it really is. It was just your completely atypical body scan where you were really focusing on things that we don't typically guide people to release. So it was lovely. Thank you so much. Colleen has a question that just came to us. She teaches emerging adult students some suggestions for YouTube video that she can recommend to them to reduce stress before taking an exam. Colleen, send to just host and panelists, send us your email, and I need to think about that one. I'm happy to kind of just let that sit for a little while. Nothing is coming to mind right now, but just that I know I can think of something. So if you just send me your email, thank you, then I can think about that a little more.
Yeah, and I would, I know you've got a ton of resources, and I would also say adding in some movement, even if it means that you're in the classroom and you're doing like a tag of movement or you're walking in place. There's lots of studies and research around movement, cardiovascular, taking an exam, how that adds to our learning, to our ability to be more present. What is the book? I can see it, but I can't think of it. But again, yeah, lots of research around movement and how that aids, our learning, our retention of information, and we reduce that stress, right?
I love that, Shanti. And I even think about use something called mental rehearsal, Julia mentions. I don't know of it, but I'm going to take a peek at that. But on the movement side of things too, thank you, Julia. I love that because I think about when I did a yoga class, and there was this one particular yoga teacher was doing a lot of shaking, and how shaking is really helpful for young students to just get their energy out. So that just doing that, just even going into the restroom and just doing that, if you feel self-conscious about doing it in the classroom, I think could be really, really helpful. So yeah, Shanti, thank you for that.
Yeah, you can make it fun, and then there's laughter, and then there's that stress relief, right?
Yeah. I think of playing like Taylor Swift, Shake It Off, like something like that just really okay, let's just let everything go.
Yeah.
Sandy's mentioned, and I know folks need to jump off for 9:00 meetings, so please do so, and we'll see you on Wednesday. The finger tracing deep breathing test for students. Oh, all right. Wonderful. Colleen, you've got a great group of resources here. So thank you for all of those, everyone. We'll be back here tomorrow, Wednesday, for our web meeting format, so we can see one another or hear one another or just be with one another. So thank you so much, Shanti, for being here this morning and offering us this really lovely, unique practice. I think it's a great way to start our day. Great to have you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we'll see you again soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining. See you soon.